Traps that customers set. Is that even a real thing? Yes, it is. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. If you have a question, go to askahousecleaner.com. Right there in the corner is a blue button. When you click on that, you can send your message to me here at the show. Somebody called in and they asked this question.
This is a vacation rental for Airbnb. The client was in the home after guests checked out on Sunday. Today is Tuesday. She asked me to clean on Monday, which was yesterday. So I cleaned on Monday and noticed a bunch of weird little things out of place, hidden, coasters under rugs, coasters behind certain things in the cabinets, and things kind of rearranged in the bathroom mirror cabinet. And I made sure that the 3 beds were made, the queen and the 2 twin bunks. So today, after her friend stayed the night on Monday evening, today being Tuesday, I went in to clean after her friend, and I know for a fact that on Monday, yesterday, that I left the house perfect. And again, today when I cleaned, there was just little things. There was pennies up on the trim of a couple of places, one above the bathroom door trim and just through the hallway trim archways. And the 2 twins, the bunk room, I noticed looked a little ruffled, but it was only one person who stayed, and they slept in the master, the queen bed. But these bunk beds, the 2 twins, looked a little weird, so I pulled them back and noticed that the head of the duvet was at the foot, and the foot was at the head. So there were buttons where the bottom of the duvet is on both beds, and pennies just being in the trim, pennies being on the storage bucket of the toilet paper, which is under the queen bed, just little things. And I've had enough, and I just don't feel like she trusts me, and she keeps testing me, and I spend more time looking for Easter eggs, and it's really not worth it to me anymore. I've never had a client be so distrustful.
Traps that customers set. Okay, I hate that this happened to you, and the answer is yes, this is a very real thing. Where it comes from is that in the Airbnb industry especially, they've hired house cleaners in the past, and the house cleaners kind of skipped some stuff, or they did the same things over and over, and then they said, oh, I just cleaned it 2 days ago. I'm going to kind of like skip today. And they got sloppy with their work. In the process of getting sloppy with their work, the homeowners or the Airbnb hosts got bad ratings and reviews. And so in order to maintain the Superhost status or to have that great rating and review continuum, what they've done is they've made traps for their house cleaners. So especially if you're a new house cleaner, even if you've been there for a month or two, they're probably checking on you to see how you're doing. Okay, so what you can do is you can have a conversation with the host and say, hey, listen, I know these are traps. You've been laying out pennies and coasters and flipping duvets around and doing all kinds of fun things to try to catch me off my game. But if I'm expecting one room and I'm being paid for one room to clean, and I come in and there are 3 rooms or 3 beds that need to be cleaned, I need to charge for that. We need to allocate for the extra costs. What you may want to let them know is, hey, I'm going to cover the basics. I'm going to do all of these exact same things every single time and have a checklist of your work. The 2 of you might even come together on an agreement where you create the checklist together. That way there are no surprises, and they can stop hiding things that you call Easter eggs around the house, okay? But this is a very common practice where an Airbnb host will hide things, and it's because they want to see how thorough the house cleaner is. In regular house cleaning, when we're cleaning a regular home, we don't open drawers and underneath the bathroom cabinets, and if a dresser or a drawer is closed, we don't open it, right? That's just common courtesy. But in the Airbnb industry, you do, because you have to double check that guests have not left cell phone chargers and clothing and items like that behind. And so you do have to go through everything, which if you were going through everything, you would find the pennies and the coasters and the things that they've left behind for you. But it is a test to see how thorough you are. And so you may want to have a conversation with the homeowner and say, I want to make sure that I'm meeting your expectations, and I'm finding all these little odds and ends that just keep popping up day after day. What you need to know is that it is exhausting for an Airbnb host or a homeowner to go around and place these little traps for you. It is exhausting. All they want to know is, are you thorough, and am I getting what I paid for? And it is exhausting for the house cleaner to keep finding little cotton balls hiding behind the toilet and pennies underneath the rugs and things like that. If you do a thorough job, you're going to find them. and you need to agree, the two of you, where all of the Easter eggs are collected, right? Many house cleaners will take the checklist and they will leave them on top of the checklist on the front counter with all the little odds and ends and pennies and gumdrops and whatever the customer has left for them. And so you may want to have a conversation just so that the boundaries are clear, and then give them the assurance of knowing that, hey, I am going to do a thorough job. You can stop hiding things for me. And how embarrassing would it be if because I was only paid for one room, I only cleaned one room, and then a guest came in those other two beds where we know no one slept. The beds were all ruffled and the duvets were upside down and what have you, right? So there needs to be a clear understanding and expectation. But yes, it's a very real thing. Yes, it happens. Yes, you should be aware of it. And don't let it bother you. It's going to happen at lots of the homes that you clean, especially in the Airbnb industry, because hosts want to maintain that Superhost status and they don't want to get bad ratings and reviews. And if someone is paying for a clean room to stay in, they want to make sure that it is spectacular. And I'm sure that's the kind of service that you provide. All right, I hope that helps. If it does, give us a thumbs up. If you got questions or comments, those go in the notes below. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.